Haha, I'm back. 2022 sure was eventful, but surely 2023 will be better, right?
I have a disease where I can't recognize people who aren't hot. My doctor says it's basically sickle cell for rich guys.
The Special Covert Operations Brain Initiative, or Scooby.
Scooby? And wait, what did Scooby do?
My dad has taught me to be a beta, so I'm working on power moves. This morning, I left my bowl in the sink.
I am not vulnerable. No one will ever hurt me.
Off to hang myself, horse and left.
Hello there, my lovely viewers. No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. This is a video about the animated superhero show Invincible.
There, see? Now he'll tell me everything.
Okay, but you're gonna catch it, right?
Yeah, in a second.
And the animated comedy that is Velma.
I'm a teddy bear. I'm named after Theodore Roosevelt, a wealthy demagogue who massacred indigenous people in the name of imperialism.
You dare to use words that alienate two communities of people who have to deal with verbal biases like yours on a daily basis?
What can I say? I got inspired by Otori's video on Invincible and Meta. No, not the company Meta, but Meta, which is a level of self-awareness that a show, movie, or a book showcases to its audience. You might have seen this in shows like Chowder and Rick and Morty. So why this video? Like I said, I was inspired by Otori's video. I think we have either seen or heard about how bad Velma is, and I am sure that if you know about Invincible, you might have seen its season 2 teaser, which was beautiful by the way. So here I am to compare the both of them, as I believe that there is a lot we can learn about Invincible and Velma by matching them together. And what a better way to do it right by looking at the respective teasers. I mean, it's only fair. The teaser gives us some insight into what could happen in their respective shows. So for Invincible, that is the season 2 teaser, and for Velma, it's this one.
If there is one thing the internet agrees on, it's that you should never change anything ever. I hope you die.
A teaser exists for one purpose, to tease us. Just think of it as looking through a keyhole. We don't get a full picture of what is to come, but we do get enough to feel curious and maybe excited for. Honestly, both teasers had really good animation, especially Invincible. Invincible gave us some fun takes, including this sequence that shows how the animation is completed. And yeah, Velma sucks, both in its teaser and its show, but we can't deny that the animation is good. Just look at the panic attack scenes. A lot of people, including me, were genuinely surprised that this show could go so far in its animation. But the teaser doesn't carry that. And it's not like the teaser is that bad. Simply ignore Velma's stupid rant and it actually has some substance for a retelling of a franchise that no one asked for. There's the rain, the nighttime setting, and a nice blend of the fog. Then there's the lightning flashes, which nicely illuminates the dark contrasts of the house inside. If done right, this could have actually played out to be a nice parody of some past horror movie. So why is this the only memorable thing about it?
You intend to make a genre-bending comedic origin story of Judy Jetson. When I heard this new version of Judy Jetson wouldn't be boy crazy, the only word I had to describe my disgust is jinkies. If there is one thing the internet agrees on, it's that you should never change anything ever. I hope you die. Sincerely, Velma. Well, at least Judy's still white.
Meta commentary. Look, I don't necessarily hate meta commentary. I enjoyed it in certain shows, especially in Rick and Morty. But I think anyone that has stayed up to date with that show can admit that it has overused meta commentary. Like in this one scene, where we finally get to know about Rick's backstory, only to get this comment.
Whoa, dead wife?
Yes, now everyone can shut up about it.
That was weird.
And then there was this constant insistence from the characters themselves about going back to classic Rick and Morty adventures. Meanwhile, I'm like, yes, we get it. Stop telling us constantly about it. So why did I bring this up? Well, Rick and Morty is a good and a bad example of how not to do meta commentary. A show can have it, I would say otherwise, but it needs to have a good setup, a proper timing, and not be repeated on constantly, because then it's not meta commentary anymore. It just becomes the writers directly talking to us through those characters. In other words, it becomes a lecture. We don't need a lecture. We're watching your show to be entertained. Stop lecturing us. Fortunately, the teaser for Invincible got that memo. It starts in a cafe, and with the two main characters of this teaser just chilling. No jump to meta commentary, no immediate attacks at his audience, just two friends at a cafe doing their own thing. We then get a non-forceful yet entertaining interaction between the two of them, with Alan being as charming to Mark as he was in season 1. Gradually, the topic of Goat, a planet mentioned in season 1, is brought up. And since Alan awkwardly yet entertainingly admits that he hasn't found it yet, this then leads him to change the topic.
I hope they're okay. I think about them quite a bit, honestly. But how about you? What have you been up to?
Now, that is how you do a setup, because it's from here that Alan and Mark brilliantly become the showrunners and the fans, respectively.
Hey, I've been busy.
Doing what?
Well, I've been busy writing, designing, storyboarding.
We don't get some poor excuse to be edgy and funny, nor is it in a way that attacks the fans, with the characters being a total contrast to who they are. Meanwhile, we get this cool visual representation of what's happening behind the scene, with both Mark and Alan still in character. See? Now that's how you do meta. What's that? The two teasers are 3 months apart from each other? Well, who cares? This bad take on meta commentary carries on even in the show.
Normally, origin stories are about tall, handsome guys struggling with the burden of being handed even more power. Because nothing's trashier or more pedo-tinged than teens in an old van.
But wouldn't you agree that the strongest use of flashbacks on TV is when one character's flashback is intercut with another's to eventually combine in the present storyline?
You are totally changing the subject.
You are, Daphne. That is interesting. You're saying if this was a flashback in your point of view, in order for it to be earned, we'd have to cut to, I don't know, Fred?
Exactly. I like it when they use a title card with the character's name when they cut to a different flashback.
Now that feels lazy.
It's stylized. It's Tarantino.
What is the incident?
In today's overcrowded market, you need a hook.
The only hook a good show ever needs is good storytelling.
And it's not like meta commentary is impossible to do right. Even freaking Family Guy has done it right. With Velma, there's no setup or a proper timing. It's either random, comes out of nowhere, or overstays its welcome. Like it's trying to be smart and funny and edgy all at the same time. But I guess that was expected from what we got from the teaser. It was trying to be funny like, haha, see how meta we are, and this is how you fans sound like on the internet. Now join us in laughing at yourselves, ha 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 ha. Meanwhile, I'm just at them like, taking. Bro, that wasn't funny. Look, I'm not saying the teaser couldn't swing a jab at the audience. Again, just look at Invincible. In the teaser, Alan represents the fans. So when Mark finished explaining the complexity that comes with animation, Alan says this.
Sure, yeah. Although like 90% of that, if I'm being honest, sounds completely made up.
Now that is a funny jab at us. Let's be real. There are some people amongst the cartoon community who either don't know or can't grasp the complexity that comes with making a cartoon, especially a high budget one. In fact, now that I bring that up, it kind of reminds me of this GTA 6 leak. Back then, there were idiots online who somehow genuinely thought that an obviously unfinished product that got leaked was a legit gameplay that they were going to play someday. Yes, that wasn't a cartoon, but my point still stands in the fact that certain people, regardless of the type of entertainment media, are totally oblivious to the amount of work that goes into producing what they love, and that's how it is with animation for some people. So Alan's response isn't far off, and it's actually funny, unlike what we got with Velma. It plays into his character of an alien that's still new to Earth and matches well with the purpose of this teaser. Best of all, it's not a direct attack on the fans. Maybe that's why I can go back to this teaser and find myself smiling all the time. Not with Velma though, that is just something else. Seeing this teaser and then the show, it makes me wish that the former was a total misdirect. Almost everything from the teaser came to pass, including this remark about Judy Jetson still being white.
Well, at least Judy's still white.
Yeah, a lot actually.
And this is not me just being racist. If somehow my accent and my avatar didn't give it away, I'm black and I still hate what they did to Shaggy.
The B word, so I lost my phone for 24 hours. But I had to find you because I still don't know if you listened to my VMs, voicemails, let alone responded. Did you?
Yes, and I don't want to do our math homework together. Just email me your answers like always.
Yes, of course. Though I left you some other VMs, voicemails.
I know what VMs are. Get to the point.
I already did. In my VMs.
Velma,
It's Norval from Math. I know who killed Brenda.
Oh my god, who?
I left you 6 more VMs.
Look how they massacred my boy.
So why is Velma like this? Why couldn't it be a crowd pleaser like Invincible? Both are for mature audiences, and yeah, one is a superhero show while the other is a comedy mystery, but that's no excuse. I look at the Velma show and its teaser, and it's like the both of them is trying too hard to tell us that this isn't another Scooby-Doo show, but it kind of is. It's just a retelling of the gang without Scooby's involvement because one of us objected to that. So when I see the show, it becomes more apparent to me that it wants to alienate itself from the franchise, not just in a lame attempt to be hardcore, but like it's a burst of what it's a part of, which is a family-friendly franchise. So it hammers in as much pop culture reference, never-ending reminder of Fred's small dong, more bizarre emphasis on sex, a sometimes inconsistent plot, and scenes that do more explaining than just showing us. Look, I don't give a shit that this show is supposed to be some kind of origin story. Better movies and shows have done that. But better, just watch Smallville or Monsters University and you'll see what I mean. With that said, I can definitively say that Invincible, with just a season 2 teaser, did things far better than Velma. That includes the teaser, the trailer, and definitely the whole of its season 1. That may come as a surprise to some of you, and maybe to others you might think differently and actually agree. Regardless, let me explain. Though we haven't gotten to see the season 2 of Invincible because, well, by the time of making this video it hasn't dropped yet, thanks to the teaser, we got a lot to look forward to. Invincible teaser alone has a better animation, a better handling on meta, and an actual reason to exist. It has also gained a lot of attention, enough to leave Velma's teaser in the dust with twice the number of view counts in barely 2 weeks. However, there is one thing that Velma scored at, and that is retaining attention. It's one thing to gain a lot of attention for your product, but it's a whole new level in retaining that attention, and that is something Velma succeeded. I know it might sound crazy, but hear me out. Long before the teaser we got this, a first look at the awful animated series. Nothing much to see, that is if you ignore the mighty nude girls and Velma's skin color. So yeah, people were upset, but nothing too serious. The pot had been set, but not enough to boil. Yet, little did we know, however, that some people behind the scenes would capitalize on some of the backlash. At least, that's what I suspect, because then we got the teaser, which resulted in this massive dislike to like ratio. Now the pot was boiling. The teaser may not have gotten more attention than Invincible, but it did do one thing different. It retained attention for the wrong reasons. Everyone was talking about it. We got YouTubers filming about it and articles berating fans. You know, the usual online discourse. Meanwhile, social media was buzzing about it. Around this time, we also got a first look at the redesigned characters. To no one's surprise, this was not well received, especially with the new synopsis for some of these characters. Now, the situation was at the hottest that it could ever be. Before anyone knew it, the trailer was out and it gained 13 million views on HBO Max official YouTube channel. That basically outclassed the teaser for Invincible. Now, obviously, it's not fair to do an exact one-on-one comparison between the performance of the teaser and the trailer. But I did feel like I should add this due to what happened with the show. Reception for the show has been very poor, especially on Rotten Tomatoes. No one seems to be happy with it, regardless of which side you belong to, which in itself is incredibly rare. In fact, Velma the show is so bad that it's rated as the #1 worst animated show on IMDb, even going so far as to beat Dragon Ball Evolution.
This is who you are.
Yeah, it's that bad. And yet, somehow, since its premiere, it has gained a 127 spike in popularity, at some point outperforming The Last of Us and becoming the second most in-demand breakout series, right behind Wednesday. Mind you, The Last of Us also had its own drama before its premiere, and despite that, it has been received well among fans of the game. I personally think that the reason for its surprisingly outstanding viewership is because of the Scooby-Doo brand and people's genuine curiosity. Blame hate-watching all you want, but I don't think that's the only reason for its performance on HBO Max. However, we should be wary of Velma. Believe it or not, with the outstanding viewership comes a dangerous precedent. Certain networks might think that retelling a beloved franchise in a bad light will be profitable regardless of the backlash. And while that has happened in the past, they have either been forgettable or an immediate crash and burn. But that might not be the case for Velma. I actually worry that Velma might get a season 3 and a 4 and maybe a season 5. Well, that might depend on how the season 2 for Velma performs. In the meantime, watch the season 2 trailer for Invincible when it comes out, and when that season finally premieres, watch it. Watch it like you have never watched any show before. Heck, get your family and friends to watch it, as long as they are at the right age. We need to get this network to see that passionately made animated shows, such as Invincible, are still a better option than those remakes of popular IPs. A product like Velma has a cast that shamelessly lie about the mutual love for the franchise. Meanwhile, what they actually do with it says the exact opposite.
Yeah, it was me, not Fred and his weird sex fan.
That's why this is important, to show these network executives that a cast with a genuine love and dedication to their art that actually shows in their animation and storytelling is far superior than whatever Mindy Kaling and her type will ever produce in a century or two. If we don't, well, don't be surprised if we get more shows like Velma. Wow, that was a lot to say. Yes, I'm back on YouTube again. Hopefully this time around, I can have a consistent upload schedule. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this video? Yeah, I guess the topic of the video was kind of odd to do. But, well, what can I say? There are countless videos about Velma, and I just joining everyone to talk about how bad the show is just felt, repetitive. That's why I got inspired by Otiori's video, because now I had something that I could do in my own way. Plus, I get to talk about Invincible, which I fucking love. So, this was a win-win for me. With all that said, thank you for watching. If you got anything to say about the video or Velma or Invincible or even both, then let's hear it in the comments. I worked hard on this video, so please also like and subscribe. That would be appreciated. Thank you for watching. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next video.